Hello, I'm David Hoffman, filmmaker, and you're about to see a film, a short film, a commercial that I made in Iran in 1975. I got to tell you a little bit about this because it gives you a sense of how hard documentaries were and sometimes still are to make. It's quite a story. So 1975, the oil crisis. The Arabs shut off oil to the Western countries because of a battle with Israel, and they thought they were really going to screw us. But the oil companies said, we're going to find oil in hard, out-of-the-way places. So I get this wonderful job working for Mobil Oil. I'm going to Iran. They're sending me to a place where, on the Iran-Iraq border, outside the town of Kermanshah, at 10,000 feet in these sand mountains, they're drilling for oil. And they want to show Americans how hard it is to find oil to justify kind of the price, which is rising because the Arabs aren't giving us any oil anymore. So what happens to me? First of all, I get trained by Mobil Oil. What are the ethics of Muslim countries? How do you shake hands? How do you not cross your legs? All kinds of other things before I got there. And they also gave me all kinds of shots, and they sent me on my way. So we get to JFK, and we're going to take off, and we're going to Iran, stopping at Paris, by the way, in a beautiful hotel to rest up before the difficult journey. And we get to Tehran Airport, and there's tanks all around the airport. 1975. The revolution hasn't come. Get off the plane, tanks, soldiers everywhere. No equipment. Wait a minute, we have 40 cases, guys. Where is it, Pan Am? Go to your hotel and we'll find it for you tomorrow. We go to the hotel, we come back, no equipment. How can you make a movie without equipment? We got all our film, 16 millimeter. We're stuck. We're there for about 5 days waiting for the equipment, no word. And I say, I'm going up to the rig. You guys in my crew and my producer stay in town until we get our equipment. Get in a taxi with another guy, drive 13 hours up to the rig, hit a couple of chickens along the way, almost hit some cows. It's an incredible ride. And I get there and it's dusk. I get into the hotel. It's a little teeny hotel. The toilet is a hose with a hole. The windows have no screens. You can see out in the river, and women are washing their clothes. You're hearing the call to prayer, and it's just another world. I decide to go to the shuk, like a market center, and it's evening, and the guy that I'm with is a tall, white-haired white guy, and I look kind of Iranian, so nobody's hassling me. But him, these kids are coming up and yelling words. We don't know what it means. So I asked somebody, what does that word mean? And they said, non-believer, pointing at him and yelling at him. Kind of hostile, kind of tense. All around us are Kurds. Now, the Kurds are these people who are not Iranian, and they're traveling between Iran and Iraq. Beautiful clothing, beautiful people. Just a whole nother world. Got no equipment. Next morning, get up, go to the rig at 10,000 feet. Open the door. Guy smiles at me and says, hey, David Hoffman, we've been waiting for you. You're a filmmaker, right? Come on in, have some coffee and donuts. Right in the middle of these sand mountains. So here's what happened with our equipment. If you're interested in production or any kind of story about it, this is really amazing. My producer, who's an incredibly good, get things done kind of a guy, great producer, is sitting in a coffee shop and he sees a guy pass with a 16 millimeter camera. Runs outside, says to this guy, where'd you get that camera? We need a camera. Guy turns out to be Zarfam. Zarfam was the cameraman for the Shah. For the Shah. The Shah was like being the king plus. And Zarfam says, well, we got lots of this equipment. Make a deal with me and use me as a cameraman. I'll get you everything you need. So my partner goes to this building, and inside the building are hundreds of 16 millimeter cameras, complete audio rigs, all kinds of film, everything you could want. Grabs it off the shelf, Zarfam's on the road, and they're up to drive this 13 hours. And along the way, Zarfam gets to know my producer, and he tells him things like, don't ever discuss the Shah, don't ever mention his name, you could get killed for that. Don't comment on his pictures, which are all over the place. He personally hated the Shah. The Shah was beyond a tyrant, as far as he was concerned. But I'll tell you what happened at the end of this film, what happened to me, what happened in Iran, right after this film was made.
Where are we? We're on top of a mountain about to raise a drilling rig. We do it here every few months. We take the whole thing apart, move it, put it all back together again.
It's real hard to set one up. There's a lot of work involved and a lot of people involved. You just got to take it as it comes.
Got tired of office work, came over into this. Figured I need a little bit more outdoor life. I'm getting it here.
A desk job, you go to work in the morning and get home at night. This job, you go to work in the morning and never know when you're going home.
The average level of the terrain here is around about 5,000 feet, with mountains rising up to 10 or 11,000 feet, and the rig sites are very largely on the top.
Most of these mountains here are practically straight up and down, and this is all real rocky country.
Most of the roads are non-existent, and roads to the rig sites all have to be made to get the equipment up there.
We've been real fortunate so far. We haven't lost anything, but we came off close several times.
For this reason, we've got the helicopter here, because it's so difficult to get people in and out in a hurry.
I'd hate to say what the cost of it is. It gets up in the millions of dollars just for one well site.
They've already looked in all the easy places. Now it's up to us to find it in places like this. Our geologists think it's here, but we've drilled, what, 7 holes? I haven't found a thing but a bit of gas.
It's real difficult to drill a well in this country, I'd say.
Yeah, it's quite a job.
So we shoot this film up in these sand mountains you just saw. It's pretty exciting. And now we read a sign at the airport as we're leaving the airport: do not leave with any film that has not been exposed, because if you do, you can be arrested. And we knew being in a jail in Iran, in prison, wasn't a good thing. We'd seen several documentaries of other people who'd been caught for mostly drugs in Iran. And man, that was really terrifying. So everybody in my crew doesn't want to take the film except me. And I got about 75 rolls of film. I stuff them in my bag. I stuff them in my box. I put them in my jacket. I got all this film. I'm carrying the film. Not that I'm a courageous guy, but what choice do I have? So the bus takes us there. There's machine guns all around, near to the plane. You get off the bus. I step hard on the ground, and the bag opens up, and all the film rolls out. It's still in its cans around me. Soldiers turn around. What a moment. I look at the soldiers and I act kind of like a crazy guy. Oh, just, man, dropped it, sorry, ha ha ha. Picking up the film, and they kind of go, ha ha. And I get on the plane. If the luck had not been with me, I would have gotten caught, and that would have been the end of David Hoffman. What happens as a result? I make about 10 of these little stories. I absolutely love every one. Alaska, Sumatra, these incredible places. What a job. And they run on TV as like kind of long-form commercials, documentaries, and they get reviewed by the New York Times. They get seen as films, and that was my goal. That was the goal of the folks who hired me. Incredibly successful. If you'd like to see more of these oil films, search the word oil on my YouTube channel, and you'll find other films I made in other really strange places at that time. Hope it gives you a sense of production at that time. It's certainly different now, right, with handheld GoPros and other stuff like that. But I loved it. One of the great moments of my life. Thank you for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to subscribe, I look forward to having you as a subscriber. If you want to support me, that's Patreon, www.patreon.com/all-in-a-day, which is still how I'm living my life, all in a day. Thank you. Take care.